You're listening to Driving It Home with Patty Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us as we continue our drive home here on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal and KKNW 1150 in Seattle, KTNF AM 950 Minneapolis, St. Paul. Hello to all of our friends tuning in on our digital platforms, including our live streams for Facebook, YouTube, and now Minocqua Brewing Company Substack. And if you have missed any of our interviews or want to go back and listen to something, everything is available as a podcast. And the best place to go is heartlandsignal.com, where you'll also find our newsroom, catching the stories that shape our democracy. We talk a lot about national politics, and you know that my passion is with local politics, in particular at the state level, where decisions can meaningfully impact your life pretty quickly. And we don't wait for Washington to fix things. And you know who really doesn't wait? Illinois teachers. Our guest today spent 33 years in the classroom teaching kids civics, actual civics. We were just talking before the show about some of the real-time things and our near recent past that's continued to have an impact. In basically teaching students, here's how power works. And now she's going to walk the walk. Erica Bray-Parker is a Democratic candidate for Illinois House 47th District. That's Wheaton and the surrounding DuPage County towns. She's been on the Wheaton City Council since 2019. She's a retired high school teacher, and she's watching the Trump administration. Are you retired? Because it sounds like
I am. I retired on May 22nd.
I was going to say, because it sounded like you were still teaching. She's a retired high school teacher, and she's watching the Trump administration gut federal education funding in real time. Money her own former colleagues relied on. Illinois is set to lose over $200 million in K through 12 funding if the Department of Education cuts hold. 32 Illinois schools already lost their community school grants, including one in West Chicago, right in her backyard. So this isn't abstract for her. It's Tuesday morning in a Wheaton classroom somewhere, and teachers are worried. And here's someone who is fighting to help. Erica Bray-Parker, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Good. Thank you so much. This is exciting to be here.
Yeah, I'm pleased to have you, and I hope you're staying hydrated for all the reasons.
Yeah. And actually, I taught in the Glenbard district, and they just started yesterday. So the teachers are sitting in the classrooms today, getting ready for those kiddos tomorrow. So yeah. I miss it, but this is a next exciting adventure.
Oh, I think that it's one of the best things I've ever done in my life was run for office. So you taught civics and psychology, which I think is very important and pertinent these days. Yeah. Understanding psychology. So when you watch the Trump administration start pulling federal education grants in the past year, what does it look like from a teacher's perspective, and not a candidate's, but a teacher's?
Well, as a teacher's perspective, in the classroom at the high school level, we've got 30 kiddos sitting in front of us, typically 5 times a day, and you get to know them, and you know where those programs impact the kids and who needs some of the programs, and you know that money, the taking away of that money, is going to have a direct and detrimental impact on a child that is sitting in front of you. So it is real.
Yeah, that is daunting too, because it's already a responsibility, and to know you can't do it to the best of your ability is just unconscionable. So West Chicago Elementary District 33 lost full service community schools grant funding. Wagner Elementary, Lehman Middle School. Illinois overall stands to lose over $200 million if the pause grants get eliminated. So, that's a whole district, whether it's a teacher. Now you might be in a position in Springfield to help the district. I don't think people quite get the layers of, the municipalities, the school, the ways in which property taxes work for education. What is it like for, budgeting, for figuring out how staff would work, the programs, all the things?
Well, unfortunately, a lot of what the Trump administration and their people are doing, it creates chaos, right? Yeah. And when you're trying to budget for kids for the next year, and so you'd mentioned I'm also on the Wheaton City Council, and you want to do responsible budgeting, and responsible budgeting means you know how much money you have. And you can't do that for your people and the people you serve if there's chaos from the top, and the grant funding might be there today, it may be gone tomorrow, it might partially be, right? So it just creates unnecessary chaos. And like I said before, as a teacher, I know that has a direct, real impact on real kids and real families here in my community.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about, with the 33 years of experience now. I mean, like, there's this whole trend, not trend, but this theme that I keep seeing, when I scroll sometimes. And it's a little bit about how, the person that you need to impress is not the loved one in your life, not, but the person you were at eight years old and the person you're going to be at 80. And I kind of like that, in the sense that, like, what would I think of myself? What did as a kid, first of all, where did you grow up? And when did you realize you wanted to be a teacher? And serve the public, really?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I actually was born in Wisconsin. So I have a lot of family up there in Wisconsin near Milwaukee. And a lot of things impacted me as a child for sure. My parents got divorced when I was really young. It was a single working mom. I had a single working mom, me and my sister. It was the 1970s. So, that's the whole era of my mom. When I was born, my mom couldn't get a credit card in her own name. She didn't have decision-making power over her own body. So I wasn't aware of it in that sense, but I was aware in the sense of my mom was working her butt off to provide for her two daughters. So that had a real impact on me. She also, she would take us to church often, right? She'd get us dressed up in our cute little dresses and we'd go to church. And I was always consistently drawn to the stories of the Good Samaritan, love your neighbor, the meek shall inherit the earth. And then later in my life, the passage about seeking justice, loving mercy, walking humbly out of Micah has always impacted me. And that transferred into my role as a teacher, right? Because you want to help the kids that are in front of you. You want to do right by them. You want to give them opportunities to make a successful future. The question about what made me become a teacher, I had a great support system. We moved down in high school, we moved to Palatine. So I graduated from Palatine High School. And I had great coaches, a great guidance counselor, and some great teachers. And a couple of them highly recommended that I go into education, that I'd make a good teacher. And I did, and I was. And it's just been a great experience.
That's fantastic. And where did you study to go? Where did you get your degree in education?
I went to Illinois State, down in Normal, teaching school. Right?
Yeah. Yeah,
and then later I really started to get interested more in government and politics later in my career, and got my master's degree from Northern Illinois in political science.
Well done. And so what was the moment? Because I remember the moment I decided someday I would run for office, and it was the first time Trump won. I was on the air when he took the stage in celebration at almost 2 a.m. And that was what led me to run for office. Do you remember that moment you had? You're like, you know what? I have to get in there with my sleeves rolled up.
So I had an interest, like it was at Illinois State University when I had my first interest. I don't know if I knew I was going to run, but my friend and I were walking in the middle of the quad. It was pretty empty, but along walked a senator from the state of Illinois. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking now. I want to tell this great story and I'm blanking on his name. The famous senator in
Paul
the 1990s.
Simon?
Thank you so much. Paul Simon literally walked by us with his handler.
Wow.
And I said hello. I said I was in education, and I thanked him. Like I had I was 20 years old. And I had the wherewithal to thank him for all he's done for public schools. And he was so impressive and such a great statesman. So that's what really got me interested. And then quite literally towards probably, I guess it was 8 years ago now, I had a member of the city council, literally a neighbor, knock on my door and say, hey, there's an opening. Like, I've seen you, we walk dogs together sometimes, and you would make a great member of the city council. And my kids were getting older, and I had a little more time. And I said, yes, I should. And I worked in a different community than I ran for city council. So that worked out well too. But I've loved it. I've really enjoyed city council, getting in people's backyard, unfortunately, when it rains or storms and things like that, but just connecting with people. I love it.
That's great. That's great that you love it, and that now you've chosen to go to Springfield. Have you been to Springfield during a legislative session?
Yes, yes. So I also am quite active in my teachers union, my educators union, the Illinois Education Association. And so, yeah, we've been down there. I've lobbied down there before, met with members of the State House. Yeah, it's an exciting place.
It really is. I recommend whenever I talk to someone who's running for a state house, I always hope that they've been in the room because it can be wild down there. Some of the antics that I was always surprised because I spent quite a bit of time down there covering, especially during the budget impasse. And I mean, it is there like since 2015 when I really started doing this. I started in 2011, but that sort of like making it a little bit more theatrical. The Republicans really leaning into being so callous and cavalier about cutting funding is real in the chamber, isn't it?
Yes, yes, it is, and it's real locally too.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Yeah. It's just very, I was so surprised. I was like,
and it's people, right? It's people.
Yes.
I think you and I have that in common. We know that cavalier cutting of the budget. Oh, we need to, it impacts the most vulnerable in our communities. And that's not right.
What is it isn't, and what is a fight that you've had at the local level that best prepared you? Perhaps can you think of something that really got you ready to tussle, as it were?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think what it is, and my education background, as a teacher, I believe really prepared me for this. We've had some issues about, building. So we have a new apartment complex going up in downtown Wheaton. It was controversial. People are concerned for their neighborhoods, right? And I've learned that your home is your home, your neighborhood is your neighborhood, and you love it, and that's important to acknowledge. And then also progress is important. So there's been the apartment complex, there's been some expansion of a local park district area, and it really prepared me to listen to the people, gather as much information as I can, right? Do the research, and then like a classroom, you're delivering a lesson. How can I deliver this lesson to the best of my ability to reach as many students as possible, right? And you do that in an ordinance or approving a program of some sort.
And here's the thing, you've been able to, as you mentioned, respond to what people need immediately. Something, goes wrong on their block, whether it's electrical lines, fallen branches, garbage cans, the potholes, all those things. And obviously the things that policy-wise are important to the community as well. What does your community, what does this district need from Springfield? What are you hearing from folks that they want to see happen?
You know what? We need a voice. There's a lot of people that believe we haven't really had much of a voice here in the 47th district, down in Springfield. And the other thing I consistently hear is protection from the cuts, the federal cuts. We need protections from the federal cuts, and also this collaborative spirit. So people are very concerned in a negative way about the federal cuts and what's happening at the federal level, but they also want me, once elected, to collaborate when we can collaborate and do what's best for our community.
And that's the thing that I think when we think about our state electeds, I wish people got more engaged. So what are some of the ways that you would encourage your constituents to connect with you when you are in office? I mean, so that people do feel like they're heard.
Good question. So right now, I encourage them to answer the door because of the automatic doorbells. People are really answering the door. So please, I'm friendly. I just want to chat with you. But once, knock on wood, once in office, I will be accessible. I am accessible now on the city council. I will continue that. Calling, emailing, like even right now with my campaign, I still answer my own emails. We'll see when things pick up, how much time I have to do that. But I will meet with, come to my office. We'll have an in-district office that will be open because currently I'm not sure that we have that. And we will have, an office in Springfield that will be open as well.
That's great. And that's the other thing I do. I'm trying to figure out. I've wanted for a long time to do a field trip to Springfield, so that people can watch their legislators in action and meet with them. One of my solutions for the ring bells, by the way, was I would just quietly, and I have these ready to go. I would have. Do you remember from the movie Love Actually? When the guy comes to the door and he just wants to talk to her and he holds up the thing. So I had like the signs I had. Hi, my name is Patty Vasquez. I just stopped
Yeah.
by. I'm running to be your state rep. You do have to figure out ways. It's a performance when you're
Yes.
talking to a ring bell. But yeah,
Yes, and it's just changed so much even from the 7 years ago. I mean, I've knocked doors throughout Wheaton twice because I've run twice, and it's new, just a 7 years difference. But yeah, I do the same thing where I hold up my
walk piece.
walk cart.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, it's really been a pleasure talking to you. Again, we were talking to Erica Bray-Parker. She's running to be the next state representative for her District 47th. That's Wheaton and the surrounding DuPage County towns. And we've got about a minute left. Tell folks why you are the best candidate to be the next representative for the District of 47.
Great question. I am the best candidate because I am well trained in having an open door policy, listening to the people, and again, making that comprehensive decision that's going to be the best for our district and the best for the people of our district and all that kind of stuff. Can I quickly give my website?
Oh, yeah, that definitely would be part of the whole thing. We can find
Great. So please. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, where can people find out about how to, because here's the 3 things you got to ask for as a candidate. We need your vote. We need your money, because you can't keep the message going and get it out there to everybody. And we need your time. So where can folks find out how they can help you out with that?
All in one place. So my website is erica4il47.com. That's ERICAFORIL47.com. And that can get you linked to donations, to social media, on all that good stuff. And just remember my little fun tagline is that you can't spell America without Erica. So
well done. Well done. It was a pleasure to meet you, and I wish you the very best.
Yes, thank you so much.
And again, thank you for taking the challenge on to represent your district, especially since we need more progressives in Springfield. So thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. Go get them.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Take care.
You too. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Have a great evening. Thank you, Lady B and Paul Shivari. I love you all. Take care.